was a new day. The sun was shining, the birds singing, the winds blowing. It was the perfect day to go outside, but I sat my butt down in my chair and hopped onto GTA 5, the game where you kill, steal, and do some other stuff I would rather not mention in a YouTube video for fun and profit. All to make you beautiful people another video. The plan for today? Well, today we're gonna do the Paleto bank heist. That's right folks, today we're robbing a bank. The plan was simple. Get in, take the money, get out. And then we'll be super rich. We had the whole gang together. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. 3 musketeers of GTA 5. But we also had some new faces. Introducing Lester, the mastermind behind the whole operation. He might not look too scary, but you'll definitely regret it if you ever become this man's enemy. Next up, and last up, we have Chef, who works at Trevor Phillips Enterprises, cooking up drugs in Trevor's meth lab. He's skilled with a gun, and is just as reliable as everyone else on the squad. The bank was located near Paleto Bay, a seemingly small establishment that apparently held lots and lots of cash. We had already scouted the town, tested the security, and timed the cop response. Now all we had to do was gather some military gear and head out. I spawned in as Trevor in his meth lab, where he was doing who knows what. I walked outside and hopped onto a motorbike, setting a waypoint at the HS mark, which stands for Heist Setup. I raced towards the waypoint on my motorbike, steering it masterfully and avoiding all obstacles in my way. There were 3 military cars. The one in the middle was no doubt the one we were after. I had to take out all of the soldiers, but I couldn't damage the cargo. But as soon as I shot, I was overwhelmed by a ton of armed guards, all with automatic weapons. This was not good, but at least now I knew what to do. This time I wasn't going to fail. I arrived ready with my RPG. Using the RPG, I easily took out the front and back armed cars and acquired the military truck. I then phoned Lester and let him know that I had the goods.
Lester the molester, bro! We got ourselves some military hardware. It's parked out back in my office.
Okay, Trevor, I'll let you know when the score is happening.
Keep me in the loop, bud.
He was going to let me know when the score was ready, so I decided to do another mission in the meantime. Since this video is about the Paleto heist, I am not going to show too much of this mission. Here's some context. Trevor Phillips Enterprises had a rival, the O'Neill brothers. They somehow pissed him off, so he went to their meth lab place and killed most of them, burning down the establishment. And now they're back to get revenge. So the entire mission was basically just turning the hunters into the hunted, and Trevor was trying to get rid of the brothers once and for all. Okay, enough talk. Here's a montage of what happened.
Never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right.
Shortly after completing that mission, I received a call from my good buddy Lester.
Alright, we might be ready to move on this thing. Meet me up in the lab.
The heist was ready, and so I hopped into my helicopter and flew over to the meth lab. It was the next day, The day that all the policemen in Paleto would look back on with fear and anger in their eyes. It was time for the Paleto bank heist. We got into our white van and drove towards the bank. A few minutes later, we finally arrived. Masks on and guns out. Trevor made sure nobody did anything funny while we had to get in the vault. At least, we were supposed to. The game kept telling me to get to the vault, but the door was locked. With no other options left, I threw a sticky bomb at the door. And, well, let's just say it didn't turn out too well. Okay, this time we would get it right. We did the same thing, rushed into the bank and forced everyone down on the ground. This time, Chef actually did his job, using the specialized tools to cut the locks on the vault door. Once Chef was done, I finished the job by kicking down the door. It was at this time that some cops arrived. Great. Trevor rushed out and shot at them with his shotgun, saying that we had hostages. Now we had 5 stars instead of 1. Awesome. Just a few seconds later, dozens of cops arrived in front of the bank. We were pretty much screwed, or so I thought. We had miniguns and body armor. This was awesome. We just plowed straight through everything that the cops threw at us, whether it was policemen, helicopters, armed soldiers, armed cars, armed helicopters. And just when I thought we had gotten rid of all of them, they brought in a monster. An entire tank for 3 guys. It was time to switch to Franklin, because we had to get out of there. He was riding a bulldozer. Great choice? I don't know. But it would have to do. After around a minute of super slow driving, I finally arrived at the scene, pulling up at the same time as one of the tanks. Yes, I said tanks. They brought in multiple tanks for us. Michael and the others hopped onto my big shovel thing and we began to drive off, with around $8 million in our bags. But as soon as we left that junkyard place, we realized that we had been cornered. There was a tank to our right, a tank to our left, and one behind us. We had to go in the factory that was directly in front of us. After taking out wave after wave of armed soldiers in the factory, we finally made it to a train stop, where we hopped onto a freight train and left the scene once and for all. We had done it. We had completed the Paleto heist, but it wasn't like we had nothing to show for it. Each one of us got us several $100,000. This was awesome. But how would we celebrate this awesome event? Of course, with another mission montage.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
By the end of this last mission, I was satisfied and ready to head out. I guess there's only one thing left for me to say. Peace.